Hello, and thank you for joining us on SCTV for the Summersville Area Chamber of Commerce Business of the Week. This is a weekly broadcast where we will feature one area business. My name is Lindsay Skidmore, Executive Director. I'm here today with Brad Anderson, owner of White Funeral Home, and they are the Business of the Week. Congratulations, Brad.
Thank you, Lindsay.
You want to tell us a little bit about your facility here?
Yeah, here at White Funeral Home, obviously, we help families when the time arises, and the funeral home offers funeral services and cremation services.
Tell us a little bit about this building in particular. It's been here quite a while.
Yeah, the business was started by the White family. Mr. H.C. White started the business back in 1925, and ever since then, we've been offering professional services and dignified services for family here in the area. I purchased the business back in 2015 after Mr. White passed away, and my family and I have been very blessed to continue the services that's been offered here.
It's a beautiful facility for sure.
Yes, it's very, very well maintained. We have a great parking lot, a great building, and we're very proud of it.
And great location as well.
Absolutely. We're here on Main Street in Summersville, and once again, we consider that a huge attribute.
Right. So tell me a little bit about the process as far as after someone's loved one passes away, kind of how the process works for you guys.
Yeah, we usually get a call from either a medical facility or a nursing home, or a lot of folks have been using hospice, and hospice is a wonderful organization that allows families to keep their loved ones at their house. So when we receive a call from them, we are open 24 hours a day. Our phone answers 24 hours a day, so no matter what time of the day or night it is, they can call us, and we would come to the home and explain different rules and regulations that we're governed under and kind of get an idea of what their intentions are, as whether it be a funeral service and or a cremation. That being said, we try to limit our exposure to the family at the time when somebody passes away and try to make another appointment with them the following day or the day after to try to gather some information from them.
Now, does this work as well for maybe a sudden passing, or does it have to be something that's kind of expected?
No. We obviously have folks that are not expected to pass away, and we help. And we also have a lot of pre-needed funerals where families come in and do pre-needs ahead of time. So we're available to those families that whether it's an at-need situation or a pre-need situation.
What types of cemeteries do you work with?
We work with a lot of cemeteries. Obviously, in our rural area here, we deal with a lot of country or family-owned cemeteries where the family wants their loved one buried on their family farm or their property, or we deal with perpetual care cemeteries. Now, perpetual care means the cemetery is regulated by a burial fund, a perpetual care fund, and it's overkept by those monies that are placed aside. Or we deal with cemeteries that are corporately owned. So we're eligible to deal with any of the cemeteries that's in the area.
Can you also do graveside services as well as services here in the facility?
Yeah, when families have somebody that passes away, obviously we offer them multitude of services. We're a full-service funeral facility. Now, a lot of times families would want a full service, is what we call, where somebody would have a visitation the night before and the funeral the following day with a burial. Or we have same-day services where they would have a visitation prior to the service on the same day with the burial. Or we have what you mentioned, graveside services, where we just go to the graveside and the family has services at the graveside.
So a lot of different options that you offer.
Yes, exactly.
So I heard you speak about crematory. You do that as well?
Yes, I'm very, very excited. We offer cremation services, and I'm excited because we're in the process of building a crematory on location, on site. So we're scheduled to be open later this year. Now, the supply issues got me pushed back a little bit, but we're going to be Nicholas County's only on-site crematory, which I think is really a nice option for families to consider. Currently, we travel 50 miles one direction to use a crematory. In West Virginia, being a rural state, there's not as many crematories than in larger urban areas that you might think. So having one in Nicholas County, and for that matter, most of the surrounding counties, there's not a crematory either. So we're very, very excited to have this project of putting a crematory here at the funeral home.
Yet another option being added here in Nicholas County.
Absolutely, and once again, I think it's very, very nice that families can have their loved one right here, and we don't have to travel away to have the cremation done.
Right. So I know you had mentioned to me before maybe you offer some pre-planning as well. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, we offer families, they can come in and they can look at our planning guide. Our planning guide really details information that's needed for a funeral when the time does come. So we have to gather a lot of vital statistics. The vital statistics is what we use to place onto a death certificate. The death certificates are then sent down to Charleston and placed on file at the vital statistics office. So in order for us to get that information, we have to ask families, and a lot of times it's easier for a family to come in and do things ahead of time, and it specifically spells out what you want to happen at your funeral. So I like that because it does alleviate a lot of stress and questions for those families that are left behind, and it does give you the option to come in and look at what you want to have at your services, all the way down to the music that we might have or what have you. But this planning guide that we offer here, and we do a lot of pre-need funerals, once again, I think that's very, very good for families to come in ahead of time and do that.
Is there a certain time or day? Do you need to make an appointment if you wanted to come in and do that?
We do ask folks to call, and the reason we want to make sure that we can give them our undivided attention. Now, we obviously have funerals and visitations, and we might be on a funeral or we might be out on a call. So therefore, we ask families to call, and we do have an appointment process that we do. Now, that being said, we offer walk-ins as well. Our doors are usually open anytime between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. And obviously, we love to sit down with folks. There's no commitment to talk to folks about the funeral industry. I know folks have a lot of questions probably about funerals if you've never been through the process. And once again, I love to answer questions about the funeral process. Our phone number here at White Funeral Home is 304-872-2361, and we answer the phone 24 hours a day. Also, you can contact us via the internet at whitefuneralhomewv.com. Speaking
of, I know you have a lot of great staff here as well. It's not just you, right? Some people behind the scenes.
That's right. Mr. Ted Day's been here with Mr. White since 1981, and he is very instrumental into how things go here. And we have a lot of part-timers. We have Jack Lanham that helps us part-time. Tom Shriver helped us part-time. Aaron Evans helps us part-time, and Carl Johnson has recently helped us here at the funeral home. So we're very blessed to have a great staff, and we'll greet you with a professional manner and a smile.
That's great. So anything else you can tell me about your business here?
Well, like I say, we offer pre-planning, and we would love for folks to consider coming in, asking us questions. Come and get one of these planning guides from us, and it'll give you ideas of what you might need for a funeral if the time does come. And then also, we're excited, each year we give out Farmer's Almanac calendars, and there's no obligation to come in and get a calendar while supplies last, because they're a hot commodity. But yeah, come on in and get an almanac calendar, and they're very good. It'll even tell you when the best days to go fishing are.
I've actually seen several of those hanging up in different businesses.
Right. No, we really enjoy handing out calendars. Calendars are hard to come by anymore, so therefore we feel this is a great option for our community.
Right. So when people are planning out their funeral or picking things for their loved one, I know there's several things that you kind of need to decide, different merchandise. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we offer a full line of caskets. We have several caskets that are made in the United States, which I think is very important. Now, that being said, is we have different types of materials that the caskets are made out of. We have 20 gauge caskets, 18-gauge caskets, wooden caskets, and we have precious metal caskets like coppers and bronzes. That's really where an individual controls what happens in a funeral, is the type of casket that you would select. Our caskets are very well made, and we use manufacturers that we trust, and we really we offer all the brands, whether it be metal or wood.
Is that something that you have on site for selection, or do you order? How does that work?
Yeah, and more and more funeral homes are going away from having actual physical caskets on location. Now, I'm a firm believer that if I'm showing somebody something, I want them to see it. So we have actual physical caskets on location that we have folks that can come and feel and touch, and we also have the ability to look at them out of a book or on the computer screen. But once again, I always like to look at them in person.
Right. Now, what about for cremation? Is there an option for that as well?
Yeah, now cremation, we have a lot of different options. We have several different books that we can have folks look at, and you can do personalization, not only with the caskets, but do personalization with cremation as well. We have a lot of different variations and styles of urns. We have cremation jewelry. We have keepsake urns that are smaller urns that you can keep a portion of the cremated remains. We also offer what we call thumbies. We can gather a person's thumbprint, place it on a piece of jewelry, and that person's thumbprint is legitimately computer generated on a piece of jewelry, and it's a keepsake that somebody can have for a long time.
Well, thank you so much, Brad, for being here with us today.
Thank you.
Congratulations on being Business of the Week.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
The Summersville Area Chamber of Commerce is a voluntary partnership of businesses and professionals working together to build a healthy economy in the Summersville area. Be sure to join us every Thursday for the summit broadcast of our Chamber Chat, a weekly radio show where we highlight upcoming member events. And continue to join us right here on SCTV every week as we feature one of our member businesses. Remember, if you have a business and would like to be featured as the Chamber of Commerce Business of the Week, give us a call at 304-872-1588 or visit our website at www.summersvillechamber.com.